Welcome to Pod Me If You Can TV, where we find obscure titles with your favourite stars and we discuss them. Today's movie is Speedway Junky, which has Gus Van Sant's name all over it, but is not directed by him at all. This film stars Jesse Bradford, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Daryl Hannah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and a couple of other not-so-memorable people. Patsy Kensit is in one scene. You might remember her from one of our Kill Cruise, one of our previous videos. Look, this Jesse Bradford's character is the lead, and he dropped out of school because school sucks, and he wants to go fast. He wants to be a race car driver, Lloyd. You know why? Because he's great at race car video games. That is basically all we are given until 45 minutes into the film when he does a little driving, but it's nothing crazy and awesome. Anyway, he goes to Las Vegas on his way to Charlotte because Charlotte has the best pit crews and he wants to be a race car driver in a pit crew. So he goes to Las Vegas, and then we get a little bit of like a Showgirls kind of movie where he's robbed, a guy buys him breakfast and he creepily wants him to come home with him. You know, he hangs out with some street toughs. He loses all his money. He's like, you know, he has to become one of them, basically. One of the street toughs is Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And he cannot play tough. I'm just going to say it. He's been pigeonholed by his home improvement persona, Lloyd. And he doesn't seem tough at all. He's got dimples, you know. He's just...
the pretty boy.
He's a very clean street tough. Anyway, these kids, one of them, a blonde kid, becomes friends with Jesse Bradford's character, and it turns out that the blonde kid is gay. And this is where kind of you get a little bit of a Gus Van Sant movie in here, because the blonde kid kind of falls in love with Jesse Bradford, and you know, he wants to take care of him and stuff, but Jesse Bradford is straight, despite the fact that Jesse Bradford is a virgin. And yeah, there's a sort of a grey area going on. Kind of this pure love gets displayed between them where nothing really happens. Made me think of that movie Elephant by Gus Van Sant a little bit, where the two guys are kind of, you know, they have this kind of unspoken-y kind of love. Anyway, so the kids in this movie pimp themselves out. They get picked up in cars and they try and make money having sex, which can be difficult if you're a gay kid and a virgin, to be honest, I'm sure. So they wind up robbing a store for food, you know, and like committing little crimes. There's car thefts and so forth. Most of the characters in this film breeze in and out of it. Tiffany Amber Thiessen comes in, and she just got married, but her new husband has gone off and he's drinking and stuff in Vegas, so she thinks she's going to get back at him by sleeping with Jesse Bradford's character. But then he comes home and Jesse Bradford gets beaten up by this guy. It's never that he's in so much danger that you're really worried about him, though. So he sort of runs from the cops and gets beaten up, and then his friends pick him up and he's fine, you know, or he's driving the car and he runs a red light or something. You know, you never think he's going to die at any point. There's never really any danger. It's like the kind of movie that is in between two other movies. The one where he becomes a runaway is the movie we don't see beforehand, foreshadowing this movie. And he becomes a runaway and, you know, runs off to Vegas. Then this is the in-between bit. And then the other one after this is him trying to become a race car driver, you know, in Charlotte. Yeah. And this is kind of treading water almost. It's ultimately a very forgettable film, you know, that's trying really hard to be memorable, I guess, because it's got guns. There's like the sexual stuff he sleeps with Daryl Hannah at one point, loses his virginity to Daryl Hannah, but it all sort of fades away from it. You don't really get anything gratuitous. It doesn't make a lot of choices. It could have maybe been this really violent film. It could have maybe been this really sexual, experimental kind of he's finding out about his sexuality kind of movie. He doesn't go to jail. He doesn't start using drugs, despite the fact it's called Speedway Junky. You know, he's just addicted to going fast, really, and trying to live his life, I guess. But like I said, I mean, it's kind of forgettable, ultimately, even though this is a fairly modern film. I think it's 2000 and... it's 1999.
That's such a pity, because the themes you just mentioned in this movie sound so heavy. Like, and Gus Van Sant's name's attached to it. It's interesting how he would have handled the material, but it just sounds so dark and grim. Like, really full-on themes there.
Yeah, a lot of the reviews say it's depressing, and it's sort
Yeah.
of like he keeps getting kicked while he's down and stuff. But even then, I mean, there's scenes where they all have a dance and a laugh, and they steal some alcohol, and they all go out to the desert and get drunk, and they're having a good time amongst all the chaos. I think it's just painting a not too pretty portrait of Las Vegas as well.
Warren
Probably-
G's in it, I see.
Sorry.
Warren G, the rapper Regulators, if you guys remember that.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people breeze in and out of this movie, and he never gets to the point where he's so desperate for food or anything that you think he might do anything. They've always he's got a roof under his head. He's crashing at a friend's place or one of the street toughs places. They've always got food and everything, and they sleep on a mattress. Maybe he has to share a bed, but that's as bad as it gets. Like his clothes are clean. It doesn't seem as if he's having too much trouble, but he's not having too much fun. Like
4.1 on IMDb. Do you agree with that?
It's probably pretty close, yeah. If not 4 or 5, it's
Wow.
not much higher than that, I wouldn't think.
Sure.
Because it doesn't make a lot of choices. Like I said, it just sort of starts to set up a lot of things, but there's not a lot of payoff. Can't be helped. Well, you can find more of us at www.podmeifyoucan.com.